There was a song written about 30 years ago by Sting, and it actually applies to current reality. In Europe and America, there's a growing feeling of hysteria, conditions to respond to all the threats and the rhetorical speeches of the Soviets. President Putin said, "We will bury you." I don't subscribe to this point of view. It'd be such an ignorant thing to do if the Russians love their children too. How can I save my little boy from Oppenheimer's deadly toy? There is no monopoly on common sense on either side of the political fence. We share the same biology, regardless of ideology. Believe me when I say to you, I hope the Russians love their children too. There is no historical precedent to put the words in the mouth of the president. There's no such thing as a winnable war. It's a lie we don't believe anymore. Mr. Biden says we will protect you. I don't subscribe to this point of view. Believe me when I say it to you. I hope the Russians love their children too. We share the same biology, regardless of ideology. But what might save us, me and you, is knowing that the Russians love their children too. And I've been thinking long and hard about this. The Ukrainian people have been victimized by Russia, but they've also been victimized by the West. If you pay attention, you'll see that the World Bank has been putting the chokehold on Ukraine because Ukraine's been having lots of debt. They owe, and they've been taking bigger loans out to pay for defending themselves. And, America's involved, and we're going to give them weapons, but at what costs? What does America get in it? We think it's a nice, friendly, altruistic point, but I believe it's all about taking advantage of Ukraine. And back at the beginning, Russia, and when they first invaded Ukraine, they had tanks that ran out of gas. And I've been thinking about this. Why would Russia bring tanks in without having fuel? And then the Russian army abandoned those tanks. Now, what if some bad players, some mercenaries, some people hired by corporations, dressed up like Russian soldiers, used those same tanks that the Russians abandoned and committed atrocities, and when you quit those atrocities, it'll be blamed on the Russian government, on the Russian military, when it really was basically paid operatives by who knows, by corporations, because Blackwater and Enron aren't really tied to any government. They do what they want. So a lot of times governments will hire Enron and Blackwater to do the bad work for them because soldiers are bound by an honor code. They're bound by soldiers' rules, by military rules. But these corporations, these mercenaries, these paid operatives, these military consultants, they're bound by no rules. So I think that the bad guy Russia, I think there's bad guys all around, and I think the United States and Europe are bad guys too. And in the whole scheme of things, Ukrainian people are the victims. And you think, well, why is the world doing this to Ukraine? Ukraine is full of minerals, gas, oil, all these important, expensive, valuable assets. And if you can get rid of the people from those areas, there's a lot of money to be had by corporations. What if it's all about corporate greed? What if it's all about corporations just raping the little people? So I guess the whole thing is, what are we going to do about it? And I don't know. Maybe I've talked too long. What's next?